Fandom Fighters Podcast. Covering everything fandom related, whether it be movies, video games, anime, whatever.
That's Weber with a B.
Weber. Because I don't know how to talk.
That's okay. I am Frank Wack.
And I am Seawood Director.
And we talk about fandom. Let's get
Woo!
into it.
Yeah.
So, just like last week, what are we watching? What are we listening to? What are we playing, Seawood?
Well, I've been watching a lot of YouTube. And yeah. Oh yeah, you know about that because I've been playing like a bunch of stuff on YouTube the whole time. I got YouTube Red.
As did I.
Yeah, because there's a special deal right now, 99 cents. You get 3 months. I think?
3 months of YouTube Red for 99 cents. I think it's a mobile app exclusive deal, but it works for both your PC and your mobile app.
Yeah, I actually saw something on Facebook about it too. So you may be like regardless of where you get it from, it'll work on all platforms. But I have been watching. I watched the first episode of Scare PewDiePie.
And
it was horrible. Oh my god! It is so like manufactured and fake, and you can tell. Like, okay, they try to make it seem like he's not in on the whole thing, but he's clearly in on the whole thing. Like the whole scary thing is supposed to be going on. He's just standing there in the corner with the giantest, like, dopiest, like, grin on his face.
So,
like,
I don't know. This might be before your time, but do you remember the Joe Smo show?
I don't.
You don't? It was like a fake reality show where it was one guy that had no idea that it was fake and a whole bunch of actors. It was really funny. The first one was really good. And they got really ambitious with the second season. They tried to make it 2 people, and one of them found out like really early on, and then it just collapsed. It was bad. But yeah, that's kind of what it reminds me of. This ungenuine. Yeah, it just doesn't feel right.
Yeah, and I mean, and at this point, there's not a whole lot on you. Well, at the point of this recording, there's not a whole lot on YouTube Red that I'm interested in. I mean, there is Laser Team, and I might check that out. But
we're looking forward to a Game Lab.
Yeah,
a game theory show.
I'm also looking forward to College Humor. They've got a show coming out soon as well on there. That looks kind of cool.
Listening
and then, I've also been watching. I just found this new YouTube channel. It's called Rob the Wonderful, and he has this show called Cartoon Clip Show.
Okay.
He reviews animation stuff, so it's really interesting.
Cool.
He's done like everything animated, like everything Star Wars animated. Oh, okay. So like Clone Wars, Droids, Ewoks, all of it.
That's cool.
Yeah. I've been listening to like the same music that I normally do. More Kerblogs, because he's been doing a lot of Marvel stuff recently. I've been listening to NVC, Nintendo Voice Chat podcast, which that's done by IGN.
You said I thought you said MVC, which stands for Marvel vs. Capcom, and
no,
I was like, what?
No,
you've been listening to Yait's amazing commentary?
No.
It's Marvel, baby!
Marvel, baby!
Marvel!
Haagen-Dazs! Where your curly mustache at? No, but no, it's Nintendo Voice Chat podcast, and it's just like general Nintendo stuff.
That's cool.
I've been playing some Fallout 4, because Far Harbor came out, and I want to finish Automatron before I start that. And then I got the Humble Deep Silver bundle, which I know you're kind of iffy on Deep Silver.
I'm very iffy on Deep Silver.
But
that's a discussion for another day.
But I really like Saints Row 2. It's probably one of my favorite like open world games of that style.
It's not terrible.
Well, I really like Saints Row 2, so for
$1.
Island.
Escaped an Island.
Well, we can talk about that later, but like Saints Row 2 though is one of my favorite open world games, so I really wanted to replay it.
Right.
Getting it on my computer, hey, I can add mods to it. So
I got you. As for me, I've been watching a lot of Tokyo Ghoul, because I would like to know Austin Tyndall's work before I interview him this coming weekend.
Yeah, that might help a little bit.
And I actually, to my I don't want to say dismay. That's not the right word for it. But to my surprise, I actually really liked Tokyo Ghoul. I thought it was going to be an anime I was going to watch. I was going to be like, whatever. It's cool. A lot of blood, a lot of gore. I get why people like it, but that kind of stuff's not for me. My girlfriend said it was all like Dead Man Wonderland. I didn't like Dead Man Wonderland at all.
What?
I did not like Dead Man
love
Wonderland.
Dead Man Wonderland.
I don't get it. What's the story?
What?
What's the story of Dead Man Wonderland, Seawood?
Oh, crap.
I rest my case.
No. He wants to figure out like why all this like crap is happening? And I'm like, why was he chosen to do all this?
But we didn't get any answers. Huh? That's not a story. We didn't get any answers.
We didn't get any answers because they didn't make a second season because the ratings were horrible in Japan. Because, dude, they aired it, like, at the same time, I think it's, like, brand new, like, Bleach or something, like, one of the big heavy hitters. Like, you're not going to get any ratings when you're going up against something like that. It
feels like an older Mortal Kombat game or an older Grand Theft Auto, where it's violence for violence sake. Yes, some of the action scenes are very cool, but in terms of story and character, there's nothing for me there. Not a thing.
It was one of the shows that got me to watch Toonami when it came back on Adult Swim.
Sure,
so
I could see that. I've been watching a little bit of YouTube. I've been catching up with The Completionist. I watched, because Sonic Spinball episode just came out.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And I grew up on Sonic Spinball. And I didn't know there were 4 levels. I thought there were only 2 because that's the only levels I could get to.
I've only ever played Spinball on an Android phone emulator.
It's one of the greatest, worst games ever made.
Oh my gosh, do not play it on an Android phone emulator.
I can imagine how terrible
Oh my gosh, I could not get past the first level.
That game is hard on Sega.
I couldn't even get the first Chaos Emerald. That's how bad it was. Wow. Just with the touch controls.
Listening to, not much has changed. Matthew, my roommate, has been kind of getting me into TED Talk.
Woo, TED Talks!
Yeah, they're okay.
Well, some of them can be kind of boring, but there's a lot of really good ones.
Well, it's the information. It's cool to listen to an expert talk about something.
Yeah.
We watched one on flag design.
I saw that one.
Which is what Seawood will know this, and it's kind of an inside joke between us and the person that made our logo for us. That's why I started asking a lot of questions.
Yeah.
It was immediately after that TED Talk. I was like, hey, can I see it like this? And then can I see it like this? And yeah. Yeah, a lot of Nate Wants to Battle, a lot of the one-ups. Like I said, not much has changed. I have started a playlist that I'm calling The Power of Positivity on Spotify, and if it's up by the time this recording goes up, I'll link it in the description, and you're welcome to follow it. That'd be cool. But it'll have a lot of different stuff. Like, I have Def Leppard in there. I have Katy Perry in there.
Oh, gosh.
I have Selena Gomez.
We know you love Selena Gomez.
I do like Selena Gomez. She's a very wonderful artist. I do like her.
I remember when I first learned that about you. And
like a few weeks ago when I shared it on Facebook?
Yeah, you shared it on Facebook, and I'm scrolling through, I'm like, whatever, I don't care, I'll just keep listening to AC/DC.
Teach their own, whatever. I like uplifting music, man. I don't like music that has a negative message anymore.
That's why you get annoyed by all the Panic at the Disco I play.
Well, no, not really. I don't know. I don't get the message in their music, so it's just it's whatever to me.
It's okay.
But I grew up on stuff like Metallica, and 90s Metallica especially, with whiny James Hetfield. I can't do it anymore. It's depressing. As for playing, I recently got paid, and I immediately bought Street Fighter V and Final Fantasy Type 0.
It took some convincing for you, though, because you really wanted that collector's edition.
Yeah, I did, and I spent the extra money. I'm so happy I did. That Ryu statue is amazing.
You need to show that to me at some point.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've been practicing my Vega and my Zangief, and I just started Type 0. It's a decent game so far.
For a Square Enix HD remaster.
For Square Enix, it's amazing. And I told you this when I bought the game. I don't consider this game a remaster, even though it is, because it's a PSP game that we never got. We never got it. It was a Japan-only game. Why throw the words remastered on it? I understand you could do that in Japan, because it is a remastered for them. It's not a remastered for us. It's a brand new game. We've never gotten to play it.
Yeah.
Until, 2013 when it came out.
Which, that's partially why I was okay with buying, the HD remasters of the Kingdom Hearts games, because it was, the Japanese-only Final Mix with the extra content.
I can kind of see that.
Yeah, I mean, I want to fight Terra and, die in, 2 seconds.
Here comes a new challenger.
Like we said last week, we're gonna highlight a specific fandom every week, and we're gonna try to move from movies to video games to anime to
so it's not the same sort of medium every time.
So we're not talking about the same thing every time. And that has no specific order.
Yeah.
It'll jump around a lot. But today we are talking about one of my favorite video game franchises of all time. Okay. Yeah, I let him have that. I'm sorry, guys.
You can cut that out.
We're talking about Mega Man.
Woo!
I love Mega Man.
Mega Man!
I speedrun Mega Man 2.
Super fighting robot!
One of the only gaming videos that are still on my channel, actually, is my Mega Man 2 speedrun in under 40 minutes. I was so proud of that. And by under 40 minutes, I mean it was 39:59. It was very close, but I got it under 40.
2 frames
I was happy about that. So, Mega Man, what is it, Seawood?
Mega Man is a video game.
Up the wiki.
Yeah, mister, I have Wi-Fi. Anyways, so Mega Man is a video game franchise about a little robot boy who goes around fighting other robots to save the world. And
you're doing a great job. Please keep going.
Well, here's the thing with Mega Man that you have to know going into it. Mm-hmm. There's like a billion different versions of Mega Man. There's the original one that started in like the 80s. Where it's just Mega Man.
87 to be exact.
Yeah, he was. Mega Man is built by a brilliant scientist named Dr. Light, and he was just a normal robot, but he was outfitted to be a fighting robot to help defeat the Robot Masters, which were a group of.
He originally wasn't. He wasn't made for that, actually.
Yeah, he wasn't originally made to fight.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I misheard you.
Yeah. Anyway, so
he's also not the first.
Yeah, he's also not the first, but we'll get to that. But he was outfitted to fight the Robot Masters, which were a group of robots that are made to do everyday sort of work. And
every robot had a different purpose.
Yeah. So, like, there's Cutman, and he was designed to cut down trees.
Mm-hmm. Deforestation.
Yeah. And they got hijacked by an evil scientist named
Dr. Wily.
Dr. Wily. Dr. Wily.
For those of you that actually went through Mega Man 8.
Oh my gosh. Oh god. I'm still traumatized. Anyways.
It's a great game, but that's voice acting.
But no, he helped build the robots, but he didn't get as much credit as Dr. Light did.
Right.
So to exact his revenge, he took the robots and made them do evil.
He made them evil! Evil! Welcome to next to every 1980s plot ever.
And so Mega Man has to go defeat them and defeat the evil Dr. Wily. And then again. And again. And that's 10 times in a row.
That's just the original series.
Actually, no, 11, because Mega Man and Base. But yeah.
And I want to take this a little step further. That's the video game. That's the storyline for the video games. Because there's not much time for storylining in an action platformer.
Well, especially in an NES one.
It's an NES action platformer in the 1980s. I mean, it's like, the story in Mario Brothers. It's, it's not...
Go stop the bad guy. That's basically the plot.
That's the plot. If you really want the story of Mega Man, go read the comics.
Yes.
The Archie comics are phenomenal.
I haven't read a ton of the Archie comics. I have a few issues. And another one, and one of the trades for crossover that we can talk about later. But yeah, they are really well written, and the art style looks just like what you would expect from Mega Man.
It's just this inner struggle of am I doing the right thing?
Yeah,
because you have to remember, Mega Man is just like all these other Robot Masters. Yeah. He was made. Well, not exactly the same.
But he was made by the same person. And
but it's like, killing off his brothers kind of thing.
Yeah.
For the sake of the world. It's a really interesting struggle to go through, to read. And
actually, if you want the plot of Mega Man, that there isn't just that comic. There's also a few manga out there for Mega Man.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I own Volume 1 of Mega Man Mega Mix. It's been a while since I've read it. I really need to reread it. But it covers the plot of like the first few games. There's a few differences, but it's generally the same thing.
Right.
I think there's one called Gigamix as well. And there is the Mega Man NT Warrior manga, which is nothing like original Mega Man. We'll get to NT Warrior and Battle Network eventually, but
good grief.
Yeah.
So just throwing out facts, since 1987, Mega Man turns 30 next year.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
30. He turns 30 next year, and in 29 years, it's 50 different games on different systems, from the original 11 if you include Mega Man and Base.
Yeah.
The
Which
Mega
you
Man
should,
X,
because that was a proper game. Although we didn't get it until the Game Boy Advance port.
The Mega Man X series, which is a lot of people's favorites, for good reasons.
I love the original Mega Man X and the remake Maverick Hunter X. They are brilliant.
We have Mega Man Legends and Battle Network.
Mega Man Legends, the underrated one, right? That's what I heard.
It's okay.
I need to actually play it.
The greatest. They tried to make it like a 3D action platformers at the time. Everything was going that way.
Yeah.
Mario
doesn't it
Crash became very popular.
Yeah. Doesn't it have tank controls?
It might.
Okay.
It's been a really, really long time since I played one. The Battle Network games, which are actually one of my personal favorites.
Yeah, that's actually how I got introduced to Mega Man. Was that was the Battle Network games, the manga, and then there was actually an anime based off of it. That. Saturday morning cartoons. Yes, that's how I got introduced to Mega Man.
That's how we roll. But it's a wonderful series. It's got wonderful games, spanning decades. As I said, they turn 30 next year. For the love of God, Capcom.
Please, we need something from them. We haven't gotten a new Mega Man game since what? Mega Man 10? Back in like 2010 or something? Yeah. It's been almost 6. It's been like 5 or 6 years.
Technically speaking, the last game in the series is the Legacy Collection that just came out this year.
Well, yeah, but
that's
an HD remaster of like the first 6. HD, but well, built from the ground up.
It's hard to HD an NES game.
I mean, well, they upscaled it to HD pretty much. Yeah, but we haven't gotten like an original one since Mega Man Cross Zone, I think is what it was called, and that was like a mobile phone game that was apparently horrible. Wait, was it Cross Zone? There's another game called Cross Zone, isn't there? Yeah. Yeah, actually,
the Capcom Sega.
Yeah,
SNK.
okay. I'm getting it mixed up. Mega Man was in one of those, though. Yeah, I think it was like Mega Man or Mega Man X.
Mega Man X and Zero were in Cross. What is the name of the damn game now?
I don't know. But there was like some crossover Mega Man game on iOS phone, and it was like a bunch of different Mega Mans in one game, and it was really, it was not good. Don't play it.
Yep. Favorite Mega Man game?
Favorite Mega Man game? Ooh, that's a tough one. Well, actually, no, it's not. Mega Man X and Maverick Hunter X are my favorites. I really, really like the way he controls. He's a lot. Mega Man X is a lot faster, a lot more agile. The wall jumping is really good.
For those of you that have watched Sequelitis, it was like the perfect upgrade.
Yeah. And Maverick Hunter X.
Insert clip of Sequelitis here.
But Maverick Hunter X, it was really good because it was a 2.5D game, so it was just like the same level design and stuff. But it added voice acting. It had anime cutscenes. It actually had like an OVA included that you could watch once you beat the game.
You mentioned anime cutscenes. All I can think about is Mega Man. Is it X5 or X6? I don't remember. The infamous what am I
That's
fighting
X4.
for? Is it X4?
Yeah.
What am
I fighting for? They actually replaced the voice actor for Zero for Maverick Hunter X. No, but you can look this up online. He actually, the voice actor for Maverick Hunter X's version of Zero, actually redid that whole thing.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Does it sound any better?
Oh, dude, it's way better.
Okay.
But yeah, I really like Maverick Hunter X, and the original version is really good too.
I got you.
What's your favorite?
My favorite Mega Man game will probably always be Mega Man 2. I love Mega Man 2. It's other than Mega Man X, I don't think any other Mega Man game really challenges the soundtrack.
Oh, dude, the soundtrack in that is
Mega Man 2 will always be the best Mega Man soundtrack ever.
The title theme, the Woodman theme.
There's not a bad song in the whole thing. And X does a really good job too. I really like X a lot. Mm-hmm. There's actually one of my favorite bands is they take Mega Man music and tell the story of Mega Man through it. The Megas, they are awesome. I
remember I got really into Mega Man music, especially when Parental Floss came out and started doing his with lyric stuff. I know you don't necessarily care. Yeah. I mean, I'm not as into him as I was when I was younger, but still, that was pretty interesting back in the day for me.
I'm not going to talk too hard about it, but we got the unfortunate pleasure of seeing him live last year. He's not good.
I would have been happy to watch him live.
No, you wouldn't have. You would have walked out like we did.
Really?
It was bad. He had to restart one of his songs. It was that bad.
Oh, just because whoever was, like, controlling everything?
He was controlling it. It was him.
Oh.
He was the MC. And the opening act blew him away.
How do you even mess it up when you're the one who's doing it?
I'm done talking about this.
Whatever. Anyways, I like him well enough. You have your own opinions. How did you get into Mega Man?
I was introduced to Mega Man. This is a funny story. My dad has a billion ideas. and he was talking to a person that owned a game shop in our local mall back in Texas. God, this was forever ago. How do I remember all this? But we ended up going to... I feel like we were in an office building. I don't remember too well. I was like 6 or 7 at the time. We had just moved to Texas not too long ago. And I remember we were shown a computer that had a bunch of emulators on it. And one of the games that I remember playing the most was Mega Man 1 with my elder brother. And I remember getting pissed off. Like, I was legit angry at this game because of how hard it was.
This game is fucking impossible!
Yeah. Well, yeah, just transfer that to what a 7-year-old would say. Fuck this game! No. It's not what I said either, but... Oh my God. But yeah, I just remember it being frustrating, and then coming back to it as an adult, it's still kind of frustrating at first, but I love the game because it teaches you without the tutorial.
Yeah.
It's a perfect video game to me. Or as perfect as we're going to get without it being like Tetris. And Tetris is the perfect video game.
I love Tetris, yeah.
But I don't know, it's just the way it plays, the way it feels, everything feels like your fault when you mess up.
Yeah.
Like, the game goes out of its way to make sure you have all the tools to do everything you need to do.
I mean, it still doesn't mean that Gutsman stage isn't bullshit in the first one. I hate the Gutsman stage, but that's just because of the platforms.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, the falling thing.
Yeah.
Still your fault, but...
I got into Mega Man, I kind of mentioned this a little bit before, with the NT Warrior Battle Network stuff. So back in the early 2000s, I would have been about 7 or 8. And that was like a big thing they were pushing was Mega Man NT Warrior. It was... The anime was dubbed into English and aired on Kids WB. The manga was published by Viz Media, and that was in a bunch of stores. And of course there were the video games on Game Boy Advance. I got into it. I think at first I got into it with the anime because I loved watching Kids WB growing up. Static Shock, Shaolin Showdown,
Sonic
Yu-Gi-Oh!
X. Shut your face. Sonic X is amazing.
That was Fox Box and like 4 Kids.
Oh, whatever. Sonic X is still good.
Oh yeah, but I'm talking about Kids WB. But yeah, Mega Man NT Warrior. I loved that show growing up.
I got you.
And of course, I love it. So what are my parents going to get me? They're going to get me the Mega Man. They're going to get me the video game. Mega Man. Well, no. I can go into that though.
Back to sequelitis. We go.
Well, here's the thing though. So I got the game, Mega Man Battle Network 3, I think it was a white version, because they were doing the whole Pokemon thing.
That was the one that they did the Pokemon thing with.
Yeah, well, they did the Pokemon thing with a few of them, but I got that and I enjoyed playing it. And I think one of my grandparents got me the first volume of Mega Man NT Warrior, the manga. I read volumes 1, 3, and 4. I did not read 2 because the Barnes & Noble did not have to.
That sucks.
I hated that as a kid because here I go reading volume 3 and I had no idea what's going on. But I really liked it growing up, and that led me to eventually get Mega Man Anniversary Collection on PlayStation 2. I learned how hard a Mega Man game can be. Good lord. Good God. I mean, it'll pop up and tell you all these things about how to play the game, but that doesn't make the level design any easier. So, I think the one I got the farthest in was Mega Man 2. Which I loved Mega Man 2.
Beautifully complex.
Yeah. I also loved the fighting games that were included, because...
Yeah, the arcade games?
Yeah, there's 2 arcade games that
you can unlock if you beat all the Mega Mans.
Yeah, and they were fighting games, and they were a lot of fun to play. Actually, I actually got to play one of them in an actual arcade. I
have too.
So lots of fun.
Back in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, I don't remember where it was. I was on like a road trip with my grandparents, but yeah.
So, that's Mega Man, guys.
Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about? Oh wait, what about? Hey guys, this totally isn't Mega Man. But it's Mega Man Mighty Number 9.
You want to talk about Mighty Number 9?
Let's talk about Mighty Number 9.
Mighty Number 9 is being hailed as the spiritual successor to Mega Man, and for good reason.
It's being directed by Keiji Inafune.
It's directed by Keiji Inafune, noted as the mother of Mega Man.
Yeah, he's basically the person who made it.
He was one of the original character designers for Mega Man. He didn't really have anything to do with the development of the games, but... he knows a lot about it.
He's hailed as like the creator. Pretty much.
Like people call him the mother for a reason.
Yeah.
It is the game that has taken forever and has made a lot of Kickstarters very angry.
Yeah.
Hopefully it comes out this year. I blame Deep Silver. Let's move on. All right, this next segment is a piece I wanted to talk about. This isn't an article. There's no real thing on the internet. It's not like a trending topic, but it is something that scares the living shit out of me.
It's a discussion that that you've been wanting to have for a really long time.
With gaming is coming to this, is becoming more and more digital. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to say afraid. I'm afraid that the next console is going to be an all-digital thing. And I want to express how much of a bad thing that is. I want to plead my case. Let's start with your thoughts, though. Because
my thoughts? Okay.
I have a mountain of things to
so
talk
digital
about.
Gaming. Let me give you a little bit of background on where I come from this. So, I grew up, playing, always going to, like Best Buy or Walmart or Game Exchange or something, looking at games on the shelf and, picking them up and buying them. Mm-hmm. And when we eventually got a PlayStation 3 in our house, that's when digital games really started picking up some steam.
Mm-hmm. Pun intended. Matt Damon.
That's an inside joke. Anyways. But I remember I bought Ratchet & Clank Tools of Destruction from a vintage stock. Loved the game. Really wanted to play the sequel. Quest for Booty was only available on the PlayStation Network store.
Oh, really?
And I could not buy it. My parents would refuse to let me do that. Because it's been really hard trying to get people to transition over to that just because it's so different. But for the longest time, I wouldn't even buy digital games. And I'm still more tempted to buy physical games because I like having that on my shelf. If I ever want to, go play, I just bought Super Mario 3D World.
Literally just now.
Literally, before this podcast started, we were at Walmart and I picked it up for $20. But
Ray Nintendo Selects. Go on. What were you saying?
Anyways, so, I just picked that up. Now, if I ever want to go play it, I can just pop it into my Wii U and play it. However, if I bought the digital version of that, that's tied to the Wii U console. If something ever happens to my Wii U, I'll most likely lose that, and I bet there's a way to get it back, but it's a hassle sometimes, and it's a problem. And I'm not opposed to it. I made the pun about Steam earlier, but I have Steam on my computer. I have a ton of games on Steam on my computer. And so I'm not opposed to
4 games in my Steam library.
Yeah, well,
3 of them were free.
When you have a computer that can decently play games, it's nice.
I understand.
Yeah, and I like it. And there's frequent sales on Steam. That helps with if you're like me and you're a college student, you don't have a lot of money, so you have to game on a budget. That helps a lot.
Yeah.
But I can see where some people would have issues.
I love how you're defending it almost. You're defending it without trying to.
I'm okay with it, but it's not necessarily my preferred way of getting a game.
I'm going to emphasize right here, I am not against digital games. I'm not against it at all. I am against all digital games.
Yes.
And
you're against the PSP Go.
Yeah. I'm very against the PSP Go. I thought it was a dumb idea then. I'm glad it tanked.
I agree. It actually was a dumb idea. Let's go.
The first thing I want to talk about, though, is cutting out the middleman. If you get rid of all digital games, companies like GameStop, they go out of business unless they go all retro, which they'll probably do if that happens.
Well, have you seen what's been going on with the retro stuff online right now?
Well, yeah.
It's a complete
But they'll become like a Game Exchange. They'll become vintage stock. They'll find any outlet to sell gaming items and stuff, and they're already doing it, kind of. But when you get rid of that middleman, when you get rid of GameStop, Walmart, the places that sell these physical games, and you have an all-digital system, let's say the PS5, all digital, you have to buy all your games online, there's no physical copies whatsoever. What's to stop them from, when the PS6 or the PS7 comes out, and they shut down the servers for the PS5, what's to stop them from completely wiping the entire library?
Exactly.
And my point in case here, for anybody that remembers Scott Pilgrim the World, the game, Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the game, based off the movie, is a wonderful, awesome action beat-em-up game. It's wonderful. You can't get it anymore.
Yeah.
You can't buy it. You can't find it. It's offline. You can't get it. If you've deleted it, you want to re-download it, you can't do it. It's not there. That infuriates me as a gamer.
Yeah.
That, especially as good of a game as it was, even if it's bad, it infuriates me that that game no longer exists. Somebody worked hard to make that game.
Yeah. And there's similar issues with I remember Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time, reshelled. That's no longer on. You can no longer get that. There's the Marvel vs. Capcom HD games. You can't get those anymore. You can't get the DLC for MVC3 anymore. You can't get the X-Men arcade game anymore.
It's a scary concept. It really is. And I understand I'm being kind of, I don't know what the word is for it, but I'm being, the end is nigh kind of thing. And that they'll do something like that. But I mean, at first, of course they're going to say, no, that'll never happen. But, 10 years down the road, they change their mind. They've done it before. They'll do it again. Yeah. The other thing is, all digital gaming won't work without some sort of return policy.
Which Steam is already starting
to
take steps towards that.
A decent job at that.
Yeah, it's like you have to have played less than 2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours of gameplay.
And you have to do it within the first 2 weeks.
See, and that's fair and it's not at the same time.
There are some games that take under 2 hours to play.
Yeah.
So if you play that game within the first week, you can just return it. You've played the full game, and you haven't paid a fee.
Or even then on the opposite scale of that, there are games that, they look really good. Yeah, all developers have to do is make a game really fun for the first 2 hours of play.
Yeah.
And after that, it doesn't matter because they can't return the damn thing. You've got their money. What are you gonna do? What sucks even worse is there's no way to go and sell the digital game. You can't resell it. You can't trade it into GameStop. Yeah. There's none of that.
Yeah, and while some people, are really big into, keeping their games forever, there's some people who, a lot of times, they'll buy a game, they'll play it, to whenever they're satisfied, and then they'll go sell it so they can buy a new game. There's a lot of people who do that. I did that a lot when I was younger.
Yeah, and we regret it later, but...
yeah, we regret it later when we want to collect games.
God, I spent a year looking for Suikoden 2 again.
Dear Lord, you sold Suikoden 2, you fool. Did. Anyways, but yeah, it's a problem for a lot of people, and then there's some people who don't have good internet, so downloadable games aren't a very good thing for them, because they can't...
There's so many things that make all digital just not a thing.
Yeah. I mean, if you live in, a fairly urban area, and... you go all digital, more power to you, you do whatever you want to do. Sure. But there's a lot of people who, that's just not convenient for them, or they just don't like that.
It would have to be of the utmost convenience.
Yeah.
I also want to emphasize, I'm a strong advocate of get out, meet people. All digital just kind of furthers our introvertiness.
Yeah.
Where we stop talking to anybody. We get on arguments on Facebook, and we don't go out and communicate with people like we should as humans.
And I mean, you may not, make super lifelong friends with someone whenever you go out to go buy a game.
Sure.
But I mean, for example, there's a GameStop close to my college that I go to, and I know the people there because I go there and I physically buy games. There's a game exchange. They know me there because I go there and I buy my movies physically. And
it's like
you get to go out there and meet people.
The reason people go to the same bar all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
You know the people there, and it makes you feel like you're at home.
Yeah,
and that's good. So that's my case. Cutting out the middleman is bad. No digital returns is bad. I don't ever see it happening. I don't ever see all digital happening.
I mean, I think digital has its place.
Sure.
It's a lot of our indie titles to come out that are really good.
That's very true.
Yeah, Shovel Knight, we just talked about that.
Shovel Knight, Freedom Planet.
Yeah, Freedom Planet.
Best Sonic game ever made.
It's pretty good.
The Binding of Isaac.
Yeah, Binding of Isaac is really good. A lot of people really like that. Dive Kick. I love Dive Kick.
Dive Kick.
I
love that game.
Oh my gosh.
Undertale.
Yeah, Undertale. Tons of people love that game. And these are games that you would not be getting if we did not have digital distribution.
If you've ever played Never Alone, Overlord was a great game.
Yeah. And it's allowed for, like, even, not just, indie titles, but just smaller budget titles. Like, Ubisoft put out, I think it's Going Home? I think that's it. No, it's Grow Home. And I got that through PlayStation Plus. That's like, probably 2 hours max.
Insomniac's coming out with a, Tales of the Deep.
Yeah. Grow Home, though, is a really fun game. You should check it out if you, have the time. But, yeah. Like, it allows for people to put out, these smaller games.
I'm not against indie games. I love physical copies over anything, though.
Yeah. I mean, if it weren't for digital distribution, we wouldn't have gotten Mega Man 9 and 10.
Sure. That's true.
People will love those.
Technically speaking, Mega Man 9 came... There's a press kit of Mega Man 9 for the NES.
Yeah, I've seen that.
But it's so hard to find, and it's so expensive.
And it doesn't play nearly as good as
nowhere near as good.
These versions that
it's
you
so
can
expensive.
download.
It's like $600.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Anyways,
thoughts, guys?
Yeah,
I actually want to hear what you guys have to say about this.
Is all digital? Is it good, bad, or are you just kind of on it?
And remember, not digital, all digital.
Yeah, all digital.
Is all digital a good or bad thing?
Yeah.
Okay, Civil War thoughts and opinions. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, you start out on this.
I really like the movie. I'm very easy, though. I am really easy to please. Watching the big fight scene in the airport, the whole thing with Ant-Man. Oh,
spoilers!
Constant spoilers, guys.
We are going to be spoiling this rotten. So
yeah. We'll make sure and put a thing at the beginning.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole thing with Ant-Man. That was really cool.
He turns into Giant Man.
That was so cool. I haven't seen Ant-Man yet. It makes me want to go back and watch it.
I was really disappointed, not by the movie, but because when I went to first go see it, me and some friends, we were hanging out in Vintage Stock, and I walked past the Civil War pops, and they had pop figures. They had a Giant Man one, and I was like, what? And that spoiled that for me. It spoiled it for me. And I was just like, no!
That's
what?
Funny.
But it was
so...
Funko. Damn you, Funko. No, they should have done what they did with Guardians, where, like, the first line, like, they put out, like, the main characters, Groot and
the guys you already
Rocket
know.
and all that, yeah. And then in the second line, they put out, the lesser...
They put out the dancing Groot.
Yeah, the more secret one. Like, they put out, like, Thanos in the second series of that, which is way better than if they had done it in the first. But, yeah. So curse you, Funko, but keep going on about what you liked.
I have a few gripes, though. I'm going to say it. The lack of an actual big bad, I was upset.
Because, there was a villain, but he wasn't, like, super, like, end of the world. It was not Ultron. It wasn't, like, Hydra inside of S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah. It wasn't Loki or,
exactly.
It wasn't even, like...
It felt off.
It wasn't even, like, the Mandarin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Iron Man 3 Mandarin.
Yeah, Iron Man 3 Mandarin, whatever. Yeah, we know how you feel about that.
So mad.
But, Baron Zemo, he is supposed to be the big bad, but...
It's just, I don't know, it's not the same.
Yeah, it's not, like, super, like, end of the world sort of villain. But I actually do kind of like that it is a lot more personal for the villain. He has a backstory. He has a pretty good reason for why he wants to end the Avengers. And which I like that. Because, like, think back, like, my favorite Marvel movie is Guardians. Great movie. Everybody loves it. You cannot tell me that Ronan is a developed villain in the least. He is so underdeveloped.
Yeah.
I want to kill Xandar! Burn it to the ground! Why?
I'm sure
because they are bad!
I'm sure if I knew more about, like, the comics and stuff, it would make a lot more sense. But
yeah,
I agree with you there.
But talking about it as a, individual, self-contained film,
so all it would take is, like, a 3-minute segment toward the middle somewhere to just explain Ronan's past. Yeah. That's all it would have taken.
But with Civil War, like, I like that, it's a lot more personal. His issue with them is really personal. His family died because of the fighting in Sokovia. Which, at the very end of the movie, when he goes to shoot himself, I was just like, oh, shit! Yeah. Like, because I did not expect suicide in a Marvel movie, which, Black Panther stops him from doing it, but still, it was really crazy.
Speaking of Black Panther, let's talk about the two newcomers.
Yeah, Black Panther and Spider-Man!
Spider-Man!
Radioactive Spider-Man.
Like, I was really skeptical, but I love this who's the new actor? Do you know his name?
For Black Panther?
No, Spider-Man.
Oh, Spider-Man is played by Tom Holland.
Tom Holland. I love this guy. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, so Spider-Man is, he's the kid, he's the teenager.
He feels just like Spider-Man.
Yeah, and this is the Spider-Man we've been looking for, because I feel like in the past movies we've gotten kind of half decent representations. Tobey Maguire, he plays
I didn't have a problem with Tobey or Andrew.
No, I don't have a problem with them either, but this feels like the most faithful one because Tobey, he feels like a better Peter Parker than a Spider-Man.
Sure.
He doesn't quip nearly as much as Spider-Man should. Mm-hmm. The only one I can really remember is like, here's your change when he's fighting, and he like slings like a bag of like coins at Doc Ock in Spider-Man 2. That's the only like quip I can really remember him saying. Yeah. But then like Andrew Garfield was really great as Spider-Man. You know, he did all the quips and everything. You know,
we don't have a chimney.
Yeah.
What?
But he was a great Spider-Man. He was not Peter Parker. He was too cool to be Peter Parker.
Yeah, I could agree with you there.
But Tom Holland, he feels just like the right amount of nerdy, the right amount of snarkiness for Spider-Man.
It's very perfect.
Hey guys, remember that really old movie, Empire Strikes Back? Dude,
where did you get this kid?
I don't know. He's on the young side. I didn't carbon date him. But it was great. No, I loved it. And like and they take down Giant Man like they did with the Walkers.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and he was great. I kind of wish there was more, but I understand why.
Yeah. It's a great tease for another year and a half. Head desk.
We will begin. Spider-Man: Homecoming it sounds like it's going to be interesting. Michael Keaton, they just got him on confirmed as the villain, and we're going to get Robert Downey Jr. in there as Iron Man. Cool. There's rumors about possibly getting Captain America in there for a cameo. So a lot of really interesting stuff, and Civil War gives us our first taste. Yeah. What did you think about Vision and Scarlet Witch?
Well, I knew in the comics they had a thing, and so I feel like they're trying to play off of that. Yeah. I don't know if it'll actually happen.
It's not explicitly stated in the film, but you get a sense like there's something going on
there. The scene where Hawkeye comes in to get Scarlet out, and the drop that Vision takes.
Yeah, like
Jesus.
Scarlet Witch just sends him just crashing down. It felt like he was just going to go on forever.
Jesus God.
It's amazing and just absolutely brutal to Vision.
Yeah.
Which there's some pretty interesting theories going on as far as like with the Infinity Gem that he has because of this sort of effect that happened. Like, he turns red whenever she starts hitting him with her powers. Mm-hmm. So there's some things going on in there. My big thing with Vision in this movie was his sweater vest. Vision wears a sweater vest, and it is simultaneously awesome and hilarious. Just because
it's perfect for it.
You don't expect it when you first see him, and then it's like, whoa. And it's just like, it's kind of funny. Just, yeah, I like it.
It's funny.
And gosh, I don't know. It's just really cool.
Black Panther is awesome.
Yeah, Black Panther does. I don't know the actor's name, but he did a really good job, and it makes me excited for his movie.
Right.
But here's the question: this kind of handles sort of the origin, like, of how he became king. So, like, what are they going to do in that movie? Because also, like, a lot of his stuff in the comics ties into, like, other things. Like, for example, you can't talk about his marriage or anything because you don't have X-Men, so you can't talk about, like, his marriage to Storm. And he hangs out with the Fantastic Four a lot. You can't do any of those stories. You can't do Doom War, anything like that. But yeah, like, I'm interested to see where they go in his movie, which is really interesting. And
I got nothing.
You got nothing?
I got nothing.
What did you think about the whole conflict at the very end of the movie where Winter Soldier killed Tony's dad?
The whole mommy-daddy thing?
He killed my mom.
Yeah.
Tony, that wasn't him. I don't care.
Yeah, like, I don't know.
I mean,
that's probably another one of those things. It felt too off.
I don't know. I feel like if I was in that situation, I would do the same thing. Just because.
Maybe.
I mean, Tony has severe daddy issues. We know this. But I don't know. Just to learn that this guy who's standing right there killed your parents. I probably would have been done the same thing.
I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's kind of interesting.
I feel like it's a little overdone.
Yeah, but it's
kind of plot.
It does at least lead to that wonderful money shot that reenacts the cover of the trade, where Iron Man's shooting the beam and Cap's got the shield up. Yeah.
That's the money shot.
But did you think that Cap was going to decapitate him that one time with the shield, just pounding the shield? And just...
This is going to sound bad. Part of me was hoping somebody would die, but that didn't happen.
I thought War Machine was going to die, but check his vitals. He's still breathing. Well, fuck.
Yeah.
Kill off someone.
The person they did kill off though was Crossbones, who, if you actually read the guy at the very beginning.
Yeah,
burned himself
I know who you're talking about.
I don't know if you've read the Civil War comics. He's the guy that shoots Cap.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. So it was the second they killed him off, I was like, Cap lives.
Yeah. Didn't they actually kill him off? I thought he survived that. They took the bomb.
He died. No, he's dead.
Oh, okay.
He is dead.
I mean,
you don't live from something like that.
Yeah, but I thought they got the explosives off of him.
No, I think didn't she throw him?
No, I think they got the explosives off of him.
I don't know. I wasn't paying too close attention.
Anyways, I thought Cap was going to die in the movie. I thought that would have been... It
would have been a terrific out.
Yeah, and it would have, or his death would have at least been faked, kind of like Nick Fury, and he would have come back in Infinity War or something. And we could have gotten Falcon, Captain America, or Bucky, Captain America.
Yeah, exactly.
Which would have been interesting.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm done with this topic.
Yeah. But yeah, I enjoyed the film.
It was good.
I have a small issue with the villain just because his whole plan depends on just so many people in so many countries coming to the same conclusion and doing these specific actions. Yeah. It feels convoluted, but I still like him as a villain because he's got a very personal issue.
Sure.
Alright, so it was announced that we are getting later this year Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2.
Oh, it's later this year.
Oh, I believe so. If not, then it's in 2017.
To Google away.
Yeah.
Keep talking.
You go look that up. So, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, obviously the sequel to Xenoverse, and a lot of people enjoyed Xenoverse. It was really well. It's one of the more well-received...
It releases in Japan winter this year.
Oh, okay. Well, still...
We'll get it sometime next year.
Yeah. Which... it did really well. It's probably one of the more successful Dragon Ball Z games of recent years.
It's been one of the best DBZ games from what I've known, especially number wise.
Well, especially since Ultimate Tenkaichi and Battle of Z, it's better than those, and it's way better than those. Although it's not hard to be better than Ultimate Tenkaichi. Which, by the way, that game, Ultimate Tenkaichi, allowed you to make a customizable character, which you can do in Xenoverse. But it was nowhere near close to the same level of customization, and I think you could only be a Saiyan. Thoughts on Xenoverse? I thought it was okay at best. I thought the voice acting could have been better. It's the same cast, but I feel like the direction was just kind of off. Your playable character, it feels like he's just playing second fiddle to the greatest hits of Dragon Ball Z.
Sure. I feel about Xenoverse the same way I feel about the greatest Sonic game in the last couple of years, Sonic Generations. Mm-hmm. It feels about the same.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's piggybacking off of the success of the anime, or in Sonic's case, the past games.
Yeah. Well, the issue with Xenoverse though is that it sort of promised to add in these cool little mix-ups with the history where somebody's going through time and they're making changes.
Right.
And that would have been really cool if it had actually happened. Pretty much all they do is there's this group of 2 people, and they go through and give the villains a power-up so that you have to come and help Goku defeat them. because the villains are now slightly stronger.
The way you say it makes it sound so lame.
It is the most they do that really does anything to change something is they give Boo this power to split up into multiple Boos, and so you have to fight multiple tiny Boos. It's really stupid.
It's like Saiyaman kind of thing.
It's really stupid. But and those 2 villains. This is getting into spoiler territory. Do you care if I spoil it? Okay. Yeah, you're probably never gonna play it. Nope. But the 2 main villains are not the final boss or anything. There's this demon god who comes in like towards the end of the second act, and basically you defeat the main villains, and then this demon god comes in and decides to be the main villain, and he wants to destroy like the main city.
So he comes in and announces that I'm the main villain.
Pretty much. He like shows up and like heals you one time, and then
he heals you?
Yeah, he heals you so that you can take out these other two people who are in his way, pretty much. Uh-huh. And then he comes in, and basically what he wants to do is he wants to take over Toki Toki City, which is the hub world. Right. And he wants to be the god of time. And it's just not that great.
It's just plot wise, it just doesn't make any sense.
Demigra, the demon god, and he's played by Josh Grell, who plays Armin in the Attack on Titan dub.
I see.
And I mean, it feels like another Dragon Ball Z like filler movie villain, honestly. Okay. He comes in, he does something that's going to end the world, and then he's beaten, and we never talk about him ever again. Jr. Yeah. Well, actually, I mean, he had that filler arc in the anime, though, at least. But no, like, Turles, we never hear about Turles ever again, right? Janemba, we never hear about him ever again. It feels like filler, and it could have been better. I like the concept. I like that you can create your own character, but story-wise, it just falls short of what it was promising.
So going back to Sonic Generations for a second, I mean, that game sold really, really well, and we were promised something really, really good after it, and then that didn't happen.
We got Lost World and Sonic Boom.
Sega does say something that Sega said they were going to work on. The next game was supposed to be really, really good. Let's hope. Moving on.
Yeah. But
with that kind of thing, the money that Xenoverse 1 made will hopefully make Xenoverse 2 phenomenal.
Yeah, the trailer we got for Xenoverse 2, it looks like, at least with the hub world, that it's going to be more interesting of at least a place to explore. Because the hub world was kind of just in the first game. Right.
It's not the main focus. I mean,
oh yeah, it's not the main focus, but still, it looks more interesting. I like how you can create your own character. They give you a decent amount of options. I'm kind of annoyed that you have to beat the game first to make any more characters. But anyways, like, in the combat, I felt was a little shallow. A lot of characters play almost exactly the same.
Right.
There's not a whole lot of combos that you can do. To do your special attacks, it's like literally like holding down like L2 and then pressing one of the face buttons. And to do your ultimate attack, the one that does the massive amounts of damage, it's basically holding down L2 and R2 and pressing one of the face buttons. See. And if you are playing as a Saiyan character, this game is so easy to cheese. Because, legitimately, like, just unlock Super Saiyan or Super Saiyan 2, unlock the move that lets you charge up your ki to max, activate Super Saiyan 2, just spam your ultimate attack, because Super Saiyan 2 lets you... Well, it lets you... basically, it slowly drains your ki meter, but you can use your special and ultimate moves as many times as you want until you hit 0.
That's gross.
Yeah, I was able to beat the final boss. So I got a Z rank, which is the best rank you can get on the final boss, and I pretty much just spammed Destructo Disc Barrage the whole time. It was so easy. Which is interesting, because before you get like Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 2 and stuff like that, the game can actually be really hard. Like, you need to grind on some stuff, which I'm not a big fan of grinding, so that kind of was a turnoff to me.
Right.
Like, about the time I think like Android 17 and 18 come into the story, you gotta grind some.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that's my thoughts on Xenoverse. I don't know. I feel like if they actually go through and with the whole like changing up the Dragon Ball timeline, it'll be interesting. I'm kind of curious though what they're gonna do, because they did pretty much the whole story of Z. So like and there's DLC for GT and Resurrection F. So like, what do you do now? Do you do the filler movies? Do you do original Dragon Ball? Do you do Super? Like, what is there left to do?
You just go off on your own tangent.
I guess, yeah.
That'd be cool. But
yeah, I'm interested in it.
Gotcha.
So for those of you who have not ever heard of James Rolfe, he is a indie filmmaker. He's a movie critic, and he's well known for his web series, The Angry Video Game Nerd, where he basically invented like the angry video game reviewer who talks about like retro games.
Sure. That's true.
But like I said, he also reviews films, and he is a huge fan of Ghostbusters, and he has outright refused to watch it. Not because it has a all-female cast.
But yeah, and I love how people want to throw that in there. You've seen that. You've seen it with a lot of things. It's an all-female cast. She must be sexist.
Yeah. A lot of feminists are getting up on their high horses and saying that he is sexist because he doesn't want to see it.
We're gonna get burned alive for this one. Huh? We're gonna get burned alive for this one.
I'll let me finish the statement and then I'll go into something else. To hopefully cover our asses, but no, but they want to say that he's sexist because he doesn't want to see it because there's an all-female cast.
And it's like
he made a very calm and civil video, and he hardly mentioned the fact that the Ghostbusters are all female.
He mentions it once,
yeah.
Passively, to try to help define it, because a lot of people just call it the all-female Ghostbusters.
Yeah, when somebody asks you what your favorite movie is, and you say Ghostbusters, are you gonna?
So now
you're gonna have to say, the original, the original, or the female Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And that's an issue. Here's the thing with calling him sexist about that, because I don't want to see the movie. I honestly don't. I don't want to spend my money to go see this. I go to college actually for film. I took a movie criticism class this past semester. And I'm looking at this trailer. It does not look like a good movie. And the whole point of trailers is to advertise it so that you can make a decision on whether or not you want to go.
Yeah.
So he's going along with the whole purpose of the trailer.
I watched the trailer for the first time today.
Yeah.
I was not very impressed either.
It's not very impressive. And I personally identify as a feminist, which feminism, a lot of people don't actually understand what it is. Because feminism is wanting equal rights for everybody.
Sure.
Not saying that does not mean that women are supposed to be superior to men, and men are supposed to be superior to women. We're all supposed to be equal.
Indeed.
And to go and say that this person is sexist just because they don't want to watch a movie with a cast that is primarily comprised of females is rude and it's just wrong to say that about someone. Yeah. That's like saying somebody's racist because they don't want to go see Ride Along 2, which had like Ice Cube and Kevin Hart or something. Yeah. That's like calling someone racist for not wanting to go see that.
Watching a Medea movie.
Yeah. Honestly, I kind of agree with James Rolfe. Like, I don't know, like
the movie doesn't look good.
It just doesn't look good. And isn't it strange how they tried for years to make a Ghostbusters 3, and then only after Harold Ramis dies do they make a new one, and it's a reboot? Doesn't that just kind of feel like you're spitting on Harold Ramis' grave a little bit?
Yeah.
Like, for those who don't know, he was one of the main driving forces behind the original. He was one of the creators. Honestly, I don't really care about it, and I don't care that we didn't get Ghostbusters 3. And we're getting this instead because, in my mind, we already got Ghostbusters 3. It's called Ghostbusters the video game. You can go get it for your Xbox or your PlayStation because it was released as a retail game, not a digital one. So y'all go buy that game because that's the real Ghostbusters 3. It was written by Harold Ramis and Dan Aykroyd, and it is wonderful.
All you're missing is like the snazzy snaps, that's all you're missing there. That's great.
Did you play that game?
I did play it. It's very good.
Yeah, it's great, and that's honestly what you should play. I remember I saw these GIFs on Twitter. Like, I think it was actually this morning, and it was the main cast of the new Ghostbusters in the style of Scott Pilgrim versus the World, like the sprites.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I retweeted it and said, isn't it weird how this GIF set is probably better? It's probably going to be better than the movie it's based off of.
Oh man!
And the whole reason that I'm worried about the movie is the director Paul Feehy or something.
Don't look at me.
By the way, feminists. Faux feminists. By the way, your movie, it's being directed by a guy. Get off your high horse. Anyways. No, I'm very passionate about this because it makes real feminists look bad when they go and say stuff like this.
I'm against labels in general, so I don't define myself as next to anything.
This is the problem with labels, yeah. But I mean, It feels like the studio it feels like the studio had a huge hand in this, and they were probably like, well, let's make it an all-female cast, so people will talk about it in the first place. Sure. It feels like it was made to drum up controversy, so people would talk about it, so that more people would know about it, so they'd go see it.
So, for a fun, elongated segue, there's an old wrestling promoter known as Eric Bischoff. Yeah. He's one of the most successful. He ran WCW during the years where it was beating WWE way back in the day. He wrote a book entitled Controversy Creates Cash. Yeah. And he basically explained how he started to beat the WWE. He did the same thing. And you start challenging people and be like, oh, you're a misogynist if you don't go out and buy a ticket to go see Ghostbusters when it comes out. Yeah. And it's like, no, I'm not, and I'm not seeing the movie. Yeah. So jug on.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so stupid. But
So Seth Rollins showed up at the very end of the Extreme Rules pay-per-view last night, and I could not be happier to see him. Sethy Poo, we missed you. I'm
just sitting here wondering who the hell is Seth Rollins.
I'm one of the many people who despise Roman Reigns as champion and him as a wrestler, and I hate the fact that Vince is pushing him. But yeah, Seth Rollins is back. It was announced on Raw last night that the main event of Money in the Bank will be Seth versus Roman. I'm excited. Can't wait. Happy to have Seth back. Other news in WWE, Ric Flair, for the love of God, just retire while you have the chance. Ric Flair's been around for so long. He's been dragging his daughter, who is the WWE Women's Champion, just became the Women's Championship again. Lots of respect to the women's division. Again, finally, and they're dragging it through the mud with this whole Ric Flair debacle. Charlotte got rid of him yesterday. Said he didn't need him. Had him leave the ring. He left the show. He's all teary-eyed, which is something Ric Flair is really good at doing. I really hope he just retires and sits in the back room. I don't want him gone. I just don't want to see him on camera anymore. Last but not least, we have Money in the Bank to talk about. Dean Ambrose, Chris Jericho, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. There's one more, but I don't remember who it is.
Don't ask me, because I don't watch wrestling.
It's Cesaro. They're all in the Money in the Bank right now. There'll be 2 more people probably on SmackDown so that they can start whatever feudy thing they're going to do. I'm calling it now. Dean Ambrose is winning, and this whole 3-way Shield fight that I've been wanting since I got back into wrestling, I guess. This whole Shield fight that I want to happen is probably going to happen. Dean's going to do the unconventional thing and cash in Money in the Bank at an inopportune time and probably win the belt that way. It'll be nice to see him with the belt. But yeah, that's what's going on in wrestling, and Siwit has nothing to say, so this segment's going to be really short.
This is like the equivalent of Xenoverse 2 for you, because, no.
The difference is I'm not long-winded.
Yeah. No, you're really concise, and I go on forever about things.
You're not wrong.
I mean, I think wrestling's cool, but I just don't want it. So y'all probably have seen this on YouTube, or in your Facebook feed, or Twitter, or whatever other social media you use. There's a woman who she bought this Chewbacca mask, not for her kids, but for herself.
And she made sure that was very clear.
Yeah, and she put it on, and she just started talking, and it made Chewbacca noises, and it gives me the warm fuzzies inside just to see this pure childlike joy in someone.
It's nice to see a bit of fandom in the spotlight, and that's why I wanted to talk about this video. She's a mother of 2. Her name is Candace Payne, and she released a viral video of her playtesting with the Chewbacca mask in the parking lot outside of Kohl's in her car. And it's hysterical. It's great.
It's really funny, and I don't know, it just makes me feel happy. Yeah. Because you can tell when she's using it that she's just having a fun time.
Yeah, it doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel staged. It feels very, very genuine, and it makes me glad to be a member of fandom in general.
And also, I didn't even know they made that toy. Because when I was a kid, they made Clone Trooper and Darth Vader helmets. I'm sure they still make some sort of version of that. But I didn't know that they made Chewbacca ones, and I thought it was really cool because...
This was a new toy. It just came out not too long ago.
When she talked, like, the mouth actually moved, which I thought was, like, the coolest thing.
Yeah.
Like, where was this when I was a kid? I would have bought that. Well, I would have my parents buy it, but...
Listen, it's just, it's good to see the joys of fandom being brought into the spotlight. It's like, that kind of thing is something you'll see at conventions. Yeah. It's something you'll see watching anime with your friends. It's just that joy that you get. Yeah,
and something really cool with her is that she's actually been on some morning talk shows.
Yeah. She did a thing with J.J. Abrams.
Yeah. She was on the Late Late Show with, I think it's James Corden or something like that. He was that one guy who was on Doctor Who like 2 times.
I was on Doctor Who.
Yeah. No, but like she got to meet J.J. Abrams, and it's just really nice to see stuff like this happening, and to see.
It's really cool to see, and it's also cool, like you're saying, to see fandom giving back.
Yeah.
Because J.J. Abrams, LucasArts, Disney didn't have to give any of that away. They didn't have to do any of that.
J.J. Abrams did not have to show up on the Late Late Show and do a skit with her and James Corden. Those morning talk shows, they didn't have to invite her on to talk about stuff. But they did, and it's really nice to see, just something really positive happening here, because, when something like this goes up on the internet, what I immediately expect something like hate towards it. Like,
right, yeah.
Here's a grown woman playing with a kid's toy.
James Roth. Point in case.
But no, like, I'm really happy that this has been getting a positive response, that she's gotten to meet all these awesome people, and, it's just something really nice.
There hasn't been any hate.
Yeah.
Which is always good to see.
Yeah. But that was the Fandom Fighters Podcast. Yeah. It was, tune in next week. We're doing this weekly. Yeah, well, pretty much confirmed now.
Yeah. Snippets come up every day on YouTube, so just keep checking it out.
Any videos you want to plug on your channel?
I just did a spotlight on, I did spotlights on A2F, but by the time you guys hear this,
A2F would have already happened, right?
Yeah.
So it was like Austin Tyndall,
and I did the one for the main show. Yeah. I have new interviews coming out.
Ash's new interview.
Good job. Ash's new interview.
Ash's New Moon, who is a cosplayer, her interview will be up probably before this comes out. So
probably, but links, whatever.
On my channel, I actually I'm gonna plug my own stuff.
Oh my God, Siwa did something.
I actually did something on my own channel, guys. I did an unboxing of the May 2016 Loot Crate. So you get to see me freaking out over an oven. Legitimately, that happens. So if you want to know why I freak out over an oven mitt, go watch the video.
Until then, guys, we'll see you guys later.
I'm Seawood Director.
I'm Frank Black.
Bye! Bye, guys!